y'all. We're Sharper typing in TNN Trap News Network. Back in the same, like cracking the same here at TNN Trap News Network. Good news you can use, good knowledge you ain't finna get nobody's college week, dog. Hit that like, hit that comment, hit that good subscribe button. Everything we got going on here at TNN Trap News Network, man. We finna slide into this good content. Shout out to rap, news, street politics. Big shout out to rap, news, street politics. Big shout out to rap, news, street politics, man. Giving us some news reviews, some knowledge you ain't finna get nobody's college, man. The Inglewood families declare war on the Stink team. Let's get into this, man. Let's tap in and see what they got going on. For those of y'all who don't know, Drakeo the ruler, God bless his soul, was the leader of the Stink team, and he led the essential, for lack of better words, beef between the Stink team and the Inglewood families. Let's get into this content.
That new membership coming out the Stink team looking to heat the city up with the beef, man. Now, before we get started, man, we still on the road to 100K. We done touched 90K, man. We got a shout out to all the subscribers, everybody that's been rocking with the channel. And for y'all that watched our Mexican Cribs video, man, them young members coming out the east and the west side, y'all seen us talk about G Money DT, Playaways, and the new Stink team movement that's looking to revive the beef between the Stinks, the Crips, and Inglewood, man, in the city. So for y'all that don't know, we got to give a backstory about the Stink team in Inglewood. We know the case that Drakeo sat down on that he beat. It was a member of the Inglewood family named Red Bull that had got chipped at a party, and the Stink team was responsible for that. Now, you know, the Stink team has always been rolling with some Crip representation in the city, whether it be the 40s, the Hundreds. They always been around some Cripping in the city, and it's been with that neighborhood car. So already some dudes that was beefing with Inglewood before the Stink team was formed. Now, you know what transpired with Drakeo at this concert. Inglewood dudes end up getting up with him, and he's no longer here. You know what I'm saying? So that put Ralphie in a position to keep the Stink team name going. You know, we seen dudes like Money Monk, OTM, and Rimble fall off to the side. We seen dudes like K7 still staying solid with rocking with the Stink team, man. But, man, they got a new recruiting class on the east side and the west side with some dudes, especially from that East Coast card, man. We just seen Day 3, Uchi Boy, and Playaways from 6 Deuce East Coast all attached themselves recently to the Stink team. And you know how the East Coast roll, man, whether it's the 6-pack, 7-6, 8-9, 9-7, Q102, them dudes be tight knit on the east side. And we see Playaways functioning heavily with his East Coast counterparts, as well as G Money DT from West Side rolling 90s.
Now, all those are direct counterparts, direct issues, direct problems with the Inglewood families. You feel me?
Recently, we seen Playaways and G Money kind of get into a situation with Drex the Joint and Rowdy Rax.
I ain't gonna lie, you playing with your life. If you trust me, if it's beef, it ain't no need for discussion. I'm bouncing out, don't need permission. Don't ask me about no.
Now, Drex the Joint.
I ain't gonna lie, you playing with your life. If you trust me, if it's beef, it ain't no need for discussion. I'm bouncing out, don't need permission. Don't ask me about no.
He bumper card that boy.
Now, Drex the Joint is not an actual Sureño gang member. He's from a crew called Southside Jackers, but he grew up in a hood called KPC 13 out in that Anaheim area. But Rowdy Rax is going to be some representation coming out the...
Interesting. You got a black person from a Mexican gang. Meanwhile, you got a Mexican person from a black gang. And they're beefing with each other. Barnacles.
Southside from Puente 13. Now, the crazy thing is, man, we done seen G Money DT make a record with Drex the Joint. They got a music video and all. So, with G Money DT being really tight-knit with Playaways and him performing with Drex the Joint, I'm pretty sure that them dudes all had a mutual situation going on where they was all cool at one point. But it seemed like some personal shit transpired at a Drex the Joint show in LA, and shit clearly went left after that situation. We seen some people talking about Playaways and his crew may have knocked somebody out, and somebody from Drex the Joint crew trying to air Playaways shit out with a couple shots in his car. Now, after that, we seen Drex the Joint pull up to Jesse Owens in the 9-0s, and in turn, we saw G Money DT and Playaways pull up to La Puente in Rowdy Rax hood, you know, trying to do some block banging out there. Now, I don't know exactly how Rowdy Rax came into play. He was probably at that show with Drex the Joint, and it all just went left. But it's just crazy, you know, you got a bunch of Hispanic rappers, 2 that's on the South Side and 2 Crips. You know, I don't know if it was the gang banging that took it off, or you know how some Southside rappers may see some other Mexican Crip rappers and like may not think they official. I don't know exactly what happened, but either way, the shit went left, man. And like we spoke on when we covered G Money DT and Playaways hadn't sat down yet. G Money DT was doing some time previously as a juvenile, but Playaways hadn't touched the county and he ain't went to the pen yet. So after this situation, he finds himself in the county, on which I presume is some unrelated charges. And it looked like he just got his feet wet with that shit, but he already out now, so it was a little slap on the wrist type shit it looked like. But either way, these dudes are trying to play ball outside. And that's exactly what we said when we talked about these dudes in that last video that we did on the Mexican Crips. Now, I don't know why Drex the Joint is kind of putting gang implications on the shit with pulling up the Jesse Owens, because he had...
That's crazy, because, nigga, you're from a clique. It was Barnacles, and you finna get into it all the Crips. Wow.
Hasn't fully aligned himself with being from a set. So I think them some dangerous games, man, to be playing with as somebody that's really not affiliated with this shit. Whether you rolling with these dudes or not, that's cool, but he ain't really stamped it that he was one of them. You know what I'm saying? So I think he out of bounds for pulling up to the 9-0's hood like that and trying to stun in somebody else's section, whether it's a crew or not. But, you know, crews beefing with gangs is really nothing new. But, you know, I think that shit out of bounds because it can get out of hand real fast. And, you know, somebody that also has something to say in this beef, man, and we got to shout him out, Chino the P, man. Free Chino the P. He was also seen beefing with both of these dudes after that situation transpired between Player Ways and Drex the Joint. We seen him make a comment basically saying both them dudes is goofy. Drex the Joint was saying Chino was a fan at one point, man, and Player Ways said what he said. But again, it's Free Chino the P from Body O Evil, man. We just seen him go down on a crazy high speed where he jumped out and tried to get on foot in Sun Valley 18th Street hood off Lancashire, man. But as we can see, man,
he tried to get up out of there. He tried to do the Diz.
The Stink Team is involved in a lot of beef in the city, man, between a lot of rappers and a lot of different hoods in the section. And you know, with Drex the Joint pulling up to the 9-0 Park, it got some attention to some hoovers in the section as well. We seen Young Threat and his homie speak on the situation of them dudes pulling up at Jesse Owens, you know, disrespecting the 9-0s. And this could be, you know, the start of a new alliance in terms of just some rap music and shit.
Oh, they all up in their shit. Oh, we finna go program with them niggas, understand?
Tell them niggas tap in. We gonna fuck with them. We about to pull up on them niggas right now. We about to go pull up on them right now.
Like I said, I don't think Drex the Joint.
That's kind of sad because that's all it takes for somebody to want to link up with you and be cool with you. Like, no actual work was put in. So now you're inheriting beef over situations that has actually nothing to do with you, and you about to get yourself in a situation, get yourself into trouble over nothing. That's kind of foolish.
Has aligned itself with no gangbanging, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see Young Threat and Drex the Joint on a new record together. Now that Drex the Joint has kind of taken on a beef with Young Threat and Amigos, you know what I'm saying? So that's just something to see. But something that was real controversial a couple years back when Drakeo was still alive is we seen him take a picture with Treyway, another member from Hoover. And that was something that really started off our channel when we were saying that Drakeo was kind of doing too much, taking pictures with Treyway, knowing all his homies is from neighborhood cars. So a lot's to be seen about what's going to transpire next between a lot of these dudes that's beefing in the city. But after that situation, what we seen most recently, man, is some of the other members from Stink Team really trying to put pressure on this Stink Team Crip and Inglewood blood beef. We see Day 3 pop up with Frosty Chain on Instagram, man.
So that's when the dude supposedly took Frosty's chain when Frosty was getting knocked down by a 304. So what the situation was, this kid or somebody is supposed to be out here putting girls on the, encouraging young women to financially, how can I say this? He was encouraging women to financially free themselves by way of peddling the paraphernalia that God provided with them. And, what's that dude's name? It's not Almighty Suspect. What the fuck is his name? Frosty the Snowman knocked said girl and did not switch the room. So when the dude came in to check on the girl, Frosty the Snowman, I guess, was getting his knob slobbed, as, you know, whatever. And he acknowledged the dude acknowledged him. He said, oh, it's all good. It's a non-contact sport. You got it. But meanwhile, Frosty is lacking and has no clothes on and got his chain snatched off the dresser, and the dude ran off.
So I'm just lying in the business. I'm saying I'm a savage, I'm gonna find a way to get it. I'm just trying to take my life, it's just the life that I'm living. If you ain't trying to catch a hop, then you gonna probably be
Now, it's a lot of stories circulating as to how he got the chain. We know Frosty be with a lot of feet. You know, he got his hands in a lot of pots when it comes to these bitches, man. So It could have been that, you know what I'm saying? He trying to get involved with too many little pieces, ended up sitting his shit down, and somebody had some sticky fingers and slid it to some niggas from East Coast. But regardless of how it was put down, it's clear that it's Frosty's chain. He's not denying it. And actually, he trying to push a line on niggas from his hood to go ahead and get to war with the East Coast hoods. And you know, the crazy thing is, this ain't even the first time Frosty got his chain snatched by a Stink Team member. A dude that used to rock with the Stink Team, Paco, also from East Coast, had his hands on the same chain off of Frosty's neck, man, not too long ago.
I know who chain this is, nigga. Yeah, come get your...
God damn, bro. I think that chain might be bad luck. That's not even something that he bought. That's something that he got from somebody else. Like, I believe like one of his older homies like gifted it to him or something like that. So, goodness gracious.
Shit back, nigga. Y'all know who shit this is. Mr. Snow Gerby. Nigga, we need that bag for it.
And you know, we seen Frosty respond by posting another chain, some more jewelry from somebody else that he claimed to be from the Stink Team, talking about his homies had some get back. Now, I don't know if this situation gonna be the same. I don't know exactly how it's gonna go, but Frosty trying to turn shit up with some gunplay, man. So we see how this turn out. Now, East Coast is by default gonna be an enemy of Inglewood family. Even though they on the east side, man, these dudes still gonna be under the neighborhood card. We got a couple of them under that block crib card, but for the most part, man, these dudes gonna be neighborhood crips. And as we see with Playways from 6 Deuce, he real tight with G Money DT, who's from 9-0, a direct enemy of Inglewood family. So I don't think it's nothing but a word with Frosty saying it's up with East Coast. It was already up. And like I said, that mean with all of them, man. So we talking 5'9", the 6-pack, 6 Deuce, 6'6", 6'8", 6'9", 7'6", 8'9", 9.
It's a lot of them niggas from East Coast crib, boy. It's a gang of them niggas.
7, Q102, 11-8 block, and 190, man. And we seen Frosty kind of call out to his homies behind the walls, talking about it's a green light on all East Coast. Now, I can't say Frosty can, you know, call shots and, you know, reprimand or DP niggas if they don't follow them orders and shit. But like I said, anyways, them dudes already not cool with some niggas from East Coast. So I don't think it's nothing for them dudes to be taken off on East Coast. It's really nothing new under the sun, you know what I'm saying? And you know, somebody we also seen floating around this situation, another Stink Team member, Chief and Heavily. When Day 3 dropped...
Now, I believe that he had an issue where they like caught him at a t-shirt shop and then he was like assaulted at the t-shirt shop or something like that.
That music video showing off the chain, man, we see Chief and Heavily real excited in the background, man. Not too long ago, we seen Frosty and his homies catch Chief and Heavily in the spot, man. Put the paws on dude and had him on the floor. I think they may have stripped him as well. So, you know, this is something that's been brewing for a long time between Frosty and these new Stink Team members. But as we can see, they done got get back and got their hands on Frosty's shit. So I think this is just the beginning of what's about to transpire between the Inglewood Bloods and the Stink Team, as well as some Crip sets around the city. We done seen a lot of bloodshed coming from both of these sides in this little mini war between the Stink Team Crips and dudes out of Inglewood. So this could definitely have implications to be heating the city up, man, hotter than it already is. Now, like I said, not necessarily because Frosty says so, but you know how these young dudes is, man. Somebody took the chain and niggas is looking for get back now. With
probably not the best thing to have on camera, walking out with the blink. Young kids, man. Make better decisions. Because again, here we are watching this whole lot to do about nothing. You know what I'm saying? Whole lot to do. Yeah, I'm live. Whole lot to do about nothing. Like a whole lot to do about nothing. God forbid one of these dudes get into it and they hurt themselves or they hurt somebody else or they catch a case, whatever the case may be, blah, blah, blah. For what? For what? What was the reason for it? This is a lot to do about absolutely nothing. Poor decision making, poor time management.
Frosty, we done seen a situation where when he got out and Drakeo was out, he was popping it. He ended up getting shot and his homie ended up getting killed, man. So, you know, he been treading lightly since then. He's still been outside pushing the feet and shit like that, but he been kind of treading lightly a little bit ever since that situation. He's starting to get his shit back now, but I think he still needs to keep his head on the swivel and move smart because shit was moving fast a couple years ago when he got hit. Now, somebody else that we seen speak on this situation who I feel like really ain't got no business speaking on this situation was Frosty old homie, Almighty Suspect. Now, Almighty Suspect gangbanging career gets an F regardless of anything, man. This nigga failed out in his gangbanging shit. So I don't know why, you know, I think it's just his personal vendetta with Frosty, but he should leave this one aside because the gangbangers is out on this one. But Suspect, man, just a backstory on this dude's situation. He was hanging with niggas from BPS and got put off BPS, man. Niggas whooped his feet over there in the jungles and put him off. Then he ran over to Frosty Enemigos, the 9-0s, man. We seen him with Chico from 90s. He started hanging with dudes from the Enemigo side. And that's already flagrant as fuck for Suspect to have done that. Number one, getting put off. All right, I don't know what he did, but we do got some smut on the nigga name. But to go to the Enemigo section and be hanging with them and laughing at your old homies and shit on the other side, that shit weird shit. That's why I say he shouldn't even be involved and speaking on nothing that's going on between some gang members. And you know, Frosty and Almighty beef picked up a little bit over the past year. You know what I'm saying? The little situation that happened between them a couple years back has kind of been revived. We seen Suspect dropping a diss record, going at Frosty. I don't think that means nothing. Again, like I said, with Suspect, I think he got to step aside with mixing himself in between this gangbanging shit. You know, he had made a statement talking about he got...
Now, that's real. That's real because it's an unnecessary... it's an unnecessary risk, bro. And you're putting yourself in the middle of flammery, skullduggery, and larceny for what?
Put off BPS because he was hanging with his cousin, Go Get a KB. Another nigga that was no good and got an F with his gangbanging who used to be and got put off Westside Rolling 90s. He said because he was hanging with Go Get a KB, his homies from BPS didn't like that, and he got put off, man. I don't think that's a valid reason. I'm saying if you got respect in your section, you got respect in your hood. If your family from the other side, man, the homies just gonna respect that. They not finna mark you out tomorrow. You got a cousin from the other side, man. You was kicking it with him and put you off. That means they didn't respect your gangbanging to begin with. So I'm not finna take that as a valid excuse.
My man Rap News Street Politics be giving some rap news and some street politics, don't he? He gonna rap news and street politics, boy. If he don't do nothing else, he gonna give us some rap news and some street politics, boy.
From Suspect as to why he got put off BPS. And how he was in that interview with Chico looking like Red Off Friday, laughing at a bunch of shit when Chico saying, man, him and his homies finna get up on Suspect in the county. This nigga Suspect doing all this giggling and shit, man. He playing too many
shout to Chico
games, man. Playing both sides, thinking this shit a game, laughing about everything. This is why Suspect got to step to the side with this shit. But some other nasty shit he was a part of, man, was some paperwork with his folks, man. His pops. Now, his pops was like a rapper back in the day. I don't think he was a gang member. So it was a situation where one of Almighty Suspect's people had gotten to it with some other females, and in that altercation, one of his relatives ended up getting stabbed or some shit like that. And, you know, she had got stabbed in the eye. It was a nasty situation. But then a dude from Pocket Hood, Compton, came up on the scene and started politicking, and some shit went left between Almighty Suspect side and the nigga from Pocket Hood side. Nonetheless, man, the dude from Pocket Hood ended up whipping out on Suspect and his people, and he ended up going down for the case. And we see Baron Tompkins and Baron Tompkins Jr., which is Suspect and his dad, in the paperwork, telling on the whole situation. So that's why I said this nigga whole game.
Whoa. I did not know that. Philip, what's the deal? I did not know that Suspect had that on his jacket.
You're from Pocket Hood, but like I got into it with some other females, and in that altercation, one of his relatives ended up getting stabbed or some shit like that. And, you know, she had got stabbed in the eye. It was a nasty situation. But then a dude from Pocket Hood, Compton, came up on the scene and started politicking, and some shit went left between Almighty Suspect side and the nigga from Pocket Hood side. Nonetheless, man, the dude from Pocket Hood ended up whipping out on Suspect and his people, and he ended up going down for the case. And we see Baron Tompkins and Baron Tompkins Jr., which is Suspect and his dad, in the paperwork, telling on the whole situation. So that's why I said this nigga whole gangbanging career and all this shit, that shit bunko, man. He shouldn't even be speaking on this situation. But either way, exactly what I said in that last video with the Mexican Crips, the Sting team is looking to revive this beef, man. They got a new recruiting class of young niggas coming out the east side and the west side, and this could heat the city up in a dangerous ass way, man. Y'all stay locked in with the channel. We got more content coming for y'all. Y'all make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe to this shit. Rap News Street Politics, best hood channel on YouTube.
Big love to Rap News Street Politics, man. Giving us some news we can use, some knowledge we ain't finna get nobody's college. I did not know that was what was going on, big dog. Sheesh. Aaron32, send me an Instagram video if that's something that, or YouTube video if that's something that's out already. Red dots to the left, y'all know the rest, and it's free. Avenue Angel tweets free. We got